Your business isn't missing clients, it's missing a book. Let's be honest. Most entrepreneurs think writing a book is just a massive ego trip, a nice thing to have on your shelf, or maybe the world's most expensive business card, possibly, but they're missing the entire point. One book can change your entire business. See, a book isn't a cost, it's one of the most powerful assets that you can create. It's a machine that works for you 24/7 to bring in your ideal clients, cement who you are as the go-to authority in your field, and open doors you never knew existed. In a world of 90-second experts and overnight social media fame, a book is the ultimate authority builder because it signals deep commitment and expertise. Now, if you don't have a book yet, you're leaving money on the table. Today, I'm breaking down the three biggest ways a book can transform your business from just another player into a powerhouse. That's right. And you'll want to stick around because I'm going to introduce you to three entrepreneurs who are about to prove it. See, authority isn't claimed, it's published. A book shifts how people see you. First up, let's talk about building undeniable authority. See, in a market that's more crowded than ever, a book is the single best way to cut through the noise. Let me put a caveat right here. I'm not talking about a pamphlet, 24-point font, lines taking up half the page, and only about 10, 15 pages, or an AI generated report that you put your name on. That's not a book. I'm talking real meat and thought. Maybe I need to do a new video or a different video on how to write a book that really matters to elevate your business. Let me know in the comments if that will be beneficial for you. But back to this particular video. See, social media is temporary, but a book gives you permanent legitimacy. Think about it. Anyone can go viral for a dance, but very few people can actually commit to researching and writing thousands of focused words on a single topic. That commitment is what separates the pretenders from the real experts. See, having a published book instantly elevates your credibility. It's the difference between telling people that you're an expert and proving it to them. It's tangible proof of your knowledge and a physical symbol of your brand. This is exactly how people like, the guy that wrote the 4 Hour Work Week, Tim Ferriss, or even Robert Kiyosaki with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We're still talking about that today. They became synonymous with their entire fields or within their entire fields. While others are busy claiming they're experts, you become the trusted authority people actively seek out for real guidance. See, your book becomes a fixture that builds deep trust in a way no other marketing can. Authors don't chase, they're chosen. Your book answers before the call. So let your book pre-sell your clients. This is step number 2. How does the authority translate into business? That brings us to this benefit. Your book becomes a silent salesperson and a client attraction machine. See, a lot of entrepreneurs worry that writing a book is just giving away all their best ideas for free. It's actually the opposite. A great book doesn't give clients a reason not to hire you. It shows them exactly why they must hire you to get the results. See, your book does the hard work of attracting and pre-qualifying your ideal clients for you. The people who invest their time and money to read your book are raising their hands and saying, I'm interested in the way that you are doing things. They get to experience what it's like to work with you. And by the time they turn the last page, and hopefully not even the last page before they get there, they aren't cold leads anymore. They're highly qualified prospects who already believe in your approach. So this completely flips the script on your sales process. Instead of you chasing leads, the right clients start coming to you. Hmm. The true ROI of a book isn't measured in a few dollars from royalties. And honestly, you don't make a whole lot on just the book. It's measured, though, in the high ticket clients it delivers. So now let me see. This means that your format is important. You have to format your book in such a way that they know how to do business with you. I do teach this in my Crown Author Blueprint because there's a strategy to it. See, my colleagues have been known to land a $15,000 client directly from their $15 book because it perfectly established their expertise. It's one of the most effective business development tools that you could ever create when done right. So stop explaining and start handing them your book. This is your 24/7 salesperson. Now, going on to number 3, your message goes further than a book, or it goes further with a book. See, books create platforms, not just pages. This is what I call the multiplier effect. A book doesn't just bring you clients one-on-one. It opens up entirely new platforms that broadcast your message to the masses. I'm talking about big stages, podcast interviews, and major media features. Here's a little secret. Event organizers and media producers always favor published authors. See, your book acts as your badge of credibility. It's the proof they need that you have a message worth sharing. This creates a powerful flywheel. The book gets you on the podcast gets you on the stage, and the stage puts you in a room filled with your perfect clients. Now, suddenly, you're not just another business owner, you're an industry leader, a thought leader too. You're the one being invited to give your take on podcasts and getting quoted in articles. Your book provides the PR hooks needed to become an essential voice in your industry. Now, this visibility drives more opportunities, more authority, and more clients, creating an unstoppable cycle of growth. And we all want that, right? Now, I know this all sounds good in theory, right? But I want you to see this transformation happen for yourself. Case in point, my latest book, Crowned by Design, just released a couple days ago, and there has been 199 downloads in 5 days. You got me. You heard me. And I was on 2 stages at the same time. Now, this book, it's powerful for entrepreneurs who are tired of guessing. If you've ever felt overwhelmed trying to piece together business advice from everywhere, you're not alone. After years of mentoring entrepreneurs and leaders, I realized that most people don't need more information, they need structure. And that's why I wrote Crowned by Design. It is a faith-based guide to building your business one room at a time. Now, entrepreneurs everywhere are searching for the exact same thing: clarity, structure, and peace. And if you've accomplished a lot in your career, but now feel called to build something of your own, you'll want to get this. It's Crowned by Design, and it reveals the framework that I use to help entrepreneurs build faith-driven businesses with peace, purpose, and profit. And because here's something nobody tells you about entrepreneurship. Most businesses do not struggle because of bad ideas. They struggle because the structure is wrong. It's like building a house with no blueprint. The walls go up, but nothing connects. That's why I wrote Crowned by Design. See, as a coach, author, and engineer by training, I believe businesses should be designed intentionally. So inside this book, you'll discover how to build your business the same way architects build strong houses, one room at a time. If you're ready to stop guessing and start building strategically, this book will change how you approach entrepreneurship. And if you haven't gotten it yet, go get it at ShantaeHaynes.com/e-design. And guess what? It's not just me. Let me introduce you to 3 of my current clients who are about to live this out. First up is Karen. She is releasing her book in April, and it's perfectly designed to establish her as the leading authority in personal development for women who have been deceived. She is a doula. She is birthing you. So here's the interview that I had with her. Well, welcome. I have the privilege today of interviewing Karen Hatch. She is a resilient woman whose life journey exemplifies strength, transformation, and purpose. She's endured the sting of constant disappointments, unmet childhood needs, and I know we can all agree with some of those, but also some emotional trauma as well as two divorces. But she refuses to let her past define her. So, through some unwavering faith and determination, Karen pursued higher education later on in life, but she did get an associate's, a bachelor's, and a master's degree. Oh, we're going to talk about a lot of that today. She is the founder of Queen Equity Life Coaching, where she specializes in what we call the R4 strategies for transformation. That's resilience, reinvention, redefining, and recovering. She empowers her clients to overcome trauma, embrace healing, and step boldly into their fullest potential. As a graduate of Daniel Premier Coaching Academy, she is a certified life coach, a premier speaker, and a certified relational intelligence coach. Now, Karen equips others with practical tools to inspire lasting, meaningful change, and she provides compassionate, judgment-free support to women in life's most vulnerable spaces. She's got a book that's coming out, and that's the reason we are talking today. It's called Knife in Shining Armor, The Shock of Deception. And Karen, welcome to the stage today because we are so excited about this book. And I know it's been a long time coming, and you've been going through a lot of things to push and birth this out. The doula is in the house today. All right.
Yes.
So, Karen, can you tell me a little bit about the backstory of how all this book came to being?
Oh, yes. Well, it began with my divorce about 9 years ago. I was married to a pastor, and we both were planning a surprise for each other. I was planning him a 15-year anniversary celebration, and he was planning my divorce.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Uh,
Surprise,
And,
surprise.
and surprise, surprise. And it was really a shock. It was really a shock. So the book came about once it happened, it blindsided me,
Mm,
and I had no language to describe what I was going through. And one of the things that I learned in this process of going through the trauma in the research, I learned that behavior was so than behavior or really wanting a divorce. It was a tactic. And then later on, I also found out about narcissistic behavior in those certain patterns. So I um I decided to write this book, and not only just to tell my story, but to also share with people and walk through their journey with their story.
wow. I was going to say, we have some of those things in common, as far as going through a divorce. Mine was a great divorce, almost 30 years in, but it was, it's amazing when you said you were blindsided. And I tell people sometimes we can be hoodwinked, bamboozled, and otherwise deceived. And your story, the book, is really written for that woman who is in the process or just on the other side. Is it for healing? What would you say is the ideal audience for this book?
Well, the ideal audience, it could be for both genders per se. I would say ages 18 and up, but I also, in the book, it includes a strategy of vetting for long-term relationship. I also added, not only am I telling my story, but there's a learning tool within the book and within the processes, because in marriages and in relationships, a lot of time people don't even realize that they're being abused. They just think it's bad behavior, that it'll get better. They're looking for things to turn around. They're searching for that moment when they first got together, that love bombing stage that also kicks off those euphoric feelings, and they want that back. And they constantly excuse behavior for.
Yeah, just to keep it going. So you're
Yeah,
absolutely right. So it's for both if you're going through or if you're trying to decide and determine whether or not this is the right relationship for you because you want to avoid those things. So I love the fact that you've got this tool on the inside because in all honesty, a lot of times we see the red flag and we don't even act like it's there. It's like, oh, was that
right.
yellow? No, it wasn't stop. No, it's just green light to
Yeah.
go, right?
Yes, well, it's easy to dismiss because you still, again, you don't want to think that you're wrong about this person because things are good in some certain areas, and in those types of relationships, you get breadcrumbed, and you think you're getting a meal. You get, you just get you're so hungry for the crumbs, not realizing you're not getting a meal. You're just getting spoon fed,
You're
just
just
enough to
getting
keep
a
you,
snack.
just enough.
Okay, that can go for a whole lot of people, especially out there in the world today. We want to make sure that we recognize our worth and our value, and then we walk in it. So I love that it's going. I believe this book is going to impact so many people. Even with that
Yes,
little bit, hey, don't be a snack. Look for the meal. I got it.
exactly,
Absolutely love that.
exactly.
I know they're gonna want this book. How can they get in
Oh
touch?
yeah, they definitely gonna want this book because it's entertaining. It'll have you laughing, and when I tell people about it, they constantly going. I said, "Oh, you see that look right there? You're gonna do that a lot, a
Oh
lot.
wow.
You're gonna do that a lot." But yeah, so don't get in touch with me by reaching me through queenequity.com.
Okay, so everybody go to queenequity.com and check out all the services that Karen has and wait for that announcement of this book in April 2026. Now let me just
Yes.
turn the page a little bit for you, Karen. And assume that somebody's writing your life story. Now you've been through so much. But what would you want to be told about you in this book?
One of the things I would want to be told about me is to know that if you can resonate with anything in this book and anything sounds familiar, you are not alone. If you can resonate with any of it, I want you to know that you're not crazy, that you're not alone. And there are people that are going beside you, people you're working with every day that don't talk about this because it's embarrassing, it's humiliating to talk about it. And then people wonder why you're still there. And there's just so much there's to pull back. But the main thing is that you're not alone. And one of the things I want people to know is that you can thrive after surviving a divorce. And a lot of people are afraid to make a move or to make a decision to move on with their life, but you can thrive. If I could thrive, anybody could thrive.
I'm going to tell you honestly, there is that shame that does come with the divorcing, from outside as well as inside, because we have that. But one of the things I think that I heard you saying is that something that you live by, that's a belief that there's no storm that is too powerful, that you cannot weather it, that the brokenness can birth into beauty, and that you can choose healing, growth, and courage. So I'm so excited about not only your life testimony, but this book that is going to empower and impact so many other people. So thank you so much for that. I'm so glad that you joined us today. But tell me, are there any last words that you would like to leave with my listeners?
Yes, I would like for listeners to know that you can have a voice. You will have a voice if you choose to have a voice. I would like for my work to bring change and transformation to those who are willing to make those changes. I would like people to know that they can thrive again if you choose to survive. If you survive and you choose to thrive, it all comes within a decision. It's just simply making a decision and taking steps to put a framework there to get to move out of that situation and to move forward in life. But
All
you
right.
have to be very strategic about it.
I absolutely love that. So, listeners, make the decision today that you're going to thrive, not just survive, as you move forward. And Karen has got the book for you to read, Knife in Shining Armor: The Shock of Deception. I can't wait for it to come out April 2026. Thank you so much, Karen, for being here today. And we appreciate you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. God bless.
Thank you for having me.
I know that was inspiring. But Corrine is next, and she has written a powerful devotional journal that will become her new calling card for retreats and clients also in this personal development space. So let her share her story with you. Welcome. I have the privilege today of introducing to some and, allowing others to sit in on this conversation with Corrine London Mitchell. She is a certified health and wellness coach, a relationship intelligence practitioner, and the founder of Grounded and Glow Wellness. She has 20 plus years of leadership experience in human resources as well as in healthcare administration. She's truly passionate about helping individuals move from overwhelm to clarity and to live more intentional, balanced lives. Originally from Guyana, South America, Corinne's early experiences with fresh foods, sustainability, and community centered living shaped her holistic approach to wellness. Now, I love that. But she is also has advanced degrees in health services administration and human resource management, and also is certified through the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. Her company, Grounded in Glow Wellness, integrates wellness coaching, emotional awareness, and relationship intelligence to support professionals and leaders in strengthening both personal well being as well as meaningful connections. She's got a new book out, and that's the reason that we're talking today. It's called Rooted to Radiant 365 Days to Ground, Grow, and Glow. And I'm going to let Corinne give us a little bit more about this wonderful book that is on the scenes now and going to be available very soon. So, Corinne, welcome to the show. And I would love for you to tell us a little bit of the backstory on this particular book. How did this start?
Absolutely. It's a pleasure being here, Dr. Shanta. So, how did it all start? In 2021, in my season of going through a divorce,
Mhm.
those are moments where no one wants to, at least I didn't, plan of getting divorced. And, I'm going through that season and I was really down and I was really out. And, I'm praying to God, like, God, I need some peace in this season. I was overwhelmed. I actually was visiting, quite honestly, Dr. Shanta, the emergency rooms pretty often.
Oh, wow.
And I met with a doctor who I guess her heart and her passion for people was, so much, a part of what she did. And she said, I've been reviewing your records. And every time you come here, nothing is wrong with you.
Oh, wow.
What's going on? And I actually had to make that decision. She said, I'm a practitioner. I can't tell you what to do,
Mhm.
but you have kids to live for, and you're going to figure it out. And
Amen.
so I started to pray to God, like, listen, I need you to help me in this season. Even though the divorce was filed, there were so many things that were going on. And so he said, you know what? Okay, chaos, you're in some chaos, but I can give you some peace. And so
Won't he do it? I mean, I'm absolutely loving that. He will
absolutely.
answer. Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. So I kind of put that down for a bit. And, about 2 years ago, I said, you know what, girl, you need to start working on this. So I gradually started, and here I am today, rooted to radiant.
All right. I absolutely love that. Let me say this. It sounds like, and we've been through some of the same things in going through a great divorce on my side, but
Mhm.
in going through that, we have to admit that there's some emotional turmoil, there's physical things that are happening, and you've identified some of that by going to the hospital. Who would you say is the ideal audience for this book that's coming out?
I say my ideal audience are anyone 18 and over who is actually, in that season, that's in there and looking to get out of that chaotic season, to,
Mhm.
find peace, to find calm. And that not only in divorces, but it can be in job situations. It can be in, just relationships. But yes, anyone in those seasons, definitely this book is for.
So more like the ideal audience is someone that's transitioning, regardless of the transition. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, let
Regardless of the
me ask you
transition.
this on this. It's called Rooted to Radiant. Yes?
Yes.
I absolutely love that because we want to transition, we want to move, and it goes along with your ideal audience. What kind of impact do you want to make with this book?
Absolutely. So I do believe with, when you're in those seasons,
Mhm.
there is a time when you need to pause, right? And that's where the rooted came from. To
Okay.
pause, to dig deep into the word, and in you digging deep into the word, it releases so many things, right? And so I would definitely say, in that release, that's where the radiant comes, right? And so you did the work, you put in your reps, as they say, right? And so definitely I would say that for anyone who is serious about doing the work, is intentional about doing it and moving from where they are to where God wants them to be. And so yes, absolutely.
So tell me, how can the audience get in touch with you? Because I know there's going to be plenty of people who need this book, want this book, are going to even share this book and buy it for others. So how can they get in touch with you?
They can reach me at groundedandglow.com, and the and is spelled out.
All right. So groundedandglow.com is where we're going to reach you. Now, I've got a
Absolutely.
serious question because I know
Yeah.
we don't have all day to keep talking about this, but it sounds like you've got some amazing things that are going to be happening. People are going to be impacted by this. But
Yes.
my question for you is this: when you're writing your life story, what do you want to be told about you?
I want for people to know that, I was, despite of all of this,
Mm,
I was very resilient. I was persistent.
okay.
I did not, yes, for a season, I might have been down but for the majority of the time, I kept going. I kept going. I'd had a second degree while I was in that season. So don't make those dark seasons seem as though it's the end of the world.
Mm.
Just pick yourself up. Yes, brush it off. Just keep going. Just keep grounding and just keep glowing.
All right, I love it. So you would say you're resilient, but you're now radiant. I absolutely love it. All right, so
Absolutely.
they can get in touch with you, groundedandglow.com. And we're spelling all the words out. So I absolutely
Yeah.
love that. Thank you, Corrine, for being here today. Any last words that you would like to leave with the listeners?
Yes. And last word's pretty simple. And again, I want to make sure that, women get this. There are seasons when you're going to be down. Seek God first,
Hmm.
and He will direct your path. And so you can't do nothing without Him. Prayer, pray, get up, do the work, and, you will glow at the end.
Oh,
So my
I
words definitely is just get up. For every season you're done, just get up, pick it up,
just get up. I
get
absolutely
up.
love it. So, for my
Absolutely.
listeners, yet again, this is her guided journal, Rooted to Radiant, 365 days to ground, grow, and glow. It's reflective tool. It's designed to help women slow down, process their experiences, and reconnect with what truly matters so that you can ground those thoughts, grow through challenges, and glow with purpose. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Corrine, for being here today. And I want you guys to go get that book. See you soon.
Absolutely.
Now, the final one for today is Lynn. She answered God's calling to equip youth with a proper core identity that will leave a legacy, not just for her, but ones to come. You've got to hear her tell this story. Opportunity to introduce you to Lynn Williams Johnson. She is passionate about helping the next generation know God personally and live confidently in their divine design. She is a graduate of Georgia Institute of Technology. That's where we started together. But she also has a degree in electrical engineering from Duke as well as with her master's. Lynn combines intellect, insight, and faith. And she has served faithfully in leadership both in corporate America as well as in her church and women's Bible study. She's been known for her warmth as well as her wisdom. Lynn empowers teens and adults alike to develop a real relationship with God and to live out their God given potential every day. So, welcome, Lynn. So excited to have you with us today. She's got a new book coming out, Designed to Conquer. And I am super excited about what this is going to entail for our next generation. So tell me a little bit about the backstory, Lynn, of how you came about in writing this book.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Mhm.
And this book is actually the result of two key aha moments. The first one was in church, my pastor asked, "What breaks your heart?" A very thought-provoking question.
Yes.
And after contemplation and kind of sitting with that, what I said, what breaks my heart is for kids, children to grow up and not know and have a relationship with God and Jesus.
Mm.
The second aha moment was when the Lord laid on my heart a mission to inspire a generation of youth to know God and Jesus. So the intersection of those two life impacting moments
Mhm.
resulted in what I fondly refer to as God's assignment in the
Okay.
writing of Designed to Conquer, a guide to embracing your core identity, the
Oh,
power
love
of
it.
your identity.
I love it. So, who would you say then is the ideal audience for this particular book?
Okay, I would say um, the book was written for teens and young adults,
Okay.
mainly wading through the confusion of their identity. And I really do believe the book ends the search for identity.
Oh,
But in the bigger village, it is also for parents and grandparents and mentors and youth leaders for them to digest and share with their beloved teens and young adults.
so
And
are
I
you
would,
thinking that they're reading along, reading to them, or they're buying it as gifts, or how would you marry those two? Because, an adult versus a teen is a little different. So, are you thinking that some adults don't understand their identity and this book would also be good for them, or how explain that a little?
great question. Well, because when I say teens and young adults, that
Mhm.
would really mean middle school, high school, and into college.
Okay.
So I think parents and grandparents all can reflect back on that time
Okay.
and feel some empathy about what it's like, all the things going on in that age range, the world that they're dealing with and the swirl that they're dealing with. And if they can digest this book and agree with it, then it would be a tool to help their loved ones.
Okay. All right. Well, the world truly is changing. There is just so much that is happening. We need to be grounded in the
Yes,
things of God for sure. So let me ask
absolutely.
you this, because you said this is God's assignment for you,
Mhm.
what impact do you really want to make with this book?
I believe the book will help teens and young adults move into a fresh and new and growing relationship with God. And I mean all three parts of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And when they really understand how they are made in the very likeness of God,
Hmm.
I think that should reveal a deeper understanding of who they are to themselves. And when they know who they are, their choices change, their confidence grows, and they are better positioned to learn how to stand even in the midst of storms.
Okay.
And going back to the title, Designed to Conquer, a guide to embracing the power of your core identity, I really, I really want them to learn how to walk in that from this
Okay.
book.
So walk victoriously. I love it. But we want to make sure that we recognize our standing and our state in God and what who he really is and who we are
Yes,
in relation to that. So I
absolutely.
absolutely love that. Let's let the audience know how
Mhm.
they can get in touch with you. What would you say?
Okay. Well, there are two ways they can get in touch with me.
Hmm.
One would be Lynn at designtoconquer.org.
Okay.
And the other would be lwjohnson021 at gmail.com.
Okay. So either email
Mm-hmm.
or Lynn, and it's Lynnne at,
designtoconquer.org.
and that's the 2TO, correct?
That's correct.
All right, we want to make sure that we get it right. All right,
Yeah.
so now let me just switch just a little bit because I know this is a God assignment for you.
Mm-hmm.
But when somebody is writing your life story at the end, and they're talking about this book that you have written as well as your life, what would you like to be told?
You know, when I became a parent, and I'm the parent of two adult children, beautiful girls who have made their mom quite proud, I realized then that the most important thing I could do for my girls was to introduce them and nurture a growing relationship with God. And I'm not going to say I did it perfectly,
Mhm.
but I was
None of us do.
intentional. And as intentional as I was with them, so am I with my grandchildren. Now, I'll have probably less time with them than with my girls. So I'm leaving this book,
Mhm.
and not only for my grandchildren, but their generation. And so I want it said that I fought the good fight and I kept the faith.
All right. I absolutely love it. Hey, we can go to Paul for that one. So I love it. We want to just be like him. Imagine being in heaven and saying, okay, Paul, you wrote it, I lived
Yeah.
it, and here we are. Absolutely love that. So, designed to conquer,
Hmm.
embracing your true core identity,
Hmm.
right? And we
Hmm.
want to make sure that the listeners have the opportunity to go get it. So make sure you either connect with Lynn on her email or Lynn, Lynnne, at designtoconquer.org.
That's
There you
right.
go. All right. Any last words that you would like to leave for our listeners today?
Well, thank you for that opportunity. Teens and young adults are pulled in 100 different directions. They have social media, they have peer pressure, they have the changing norms of our society all pulling at them. And they are drowning, I believe, in the search and chase for their identity.
Mhm.
And with no firm foundation, they're they're just subject to whatever direction the wind takes them, which oftentimes leads to chaos, running in circles, regrets, and an unfulfilled life. And again, this book, I believe, ends the search for identity. So, it not in addition, it also gives them a foundation upon which they can build. So we know they'll have storms. There will be bullying. There will be broken relationships. There will be jealous enemies and setbacks. We know this, right?
Yes.
And I would say to parents, if you're a parent who would rescue you, if you made the choice to rescue your child from every storm or prefer to teach and equip your son or daughter to go through the storm to get to the rainbow so they're stronger the next time, this book helps you teach and equip them.
I love it. I love it. So no matter what storm comes, they're going to be able to survive it when they have their true core identity set and ready to go. I love this book. I'm going to tell you one of the things about it, and Lynn didn't mention it, is there illustrations on the inside of this book that you just got to go and get so you can see it. But in any event, thank you so much, Lynn, for being here. It truly has been a pleasure. Go get the book, April 2026. You've got to get Designed to Conquer. All right. Thanks again. Have a fantastic rest of your day. God bless.
Thank you.
Now, keep an eye on them because starting in April, you're going to see their books opening new doors, building their authority, and bringing them clients who are ready to go. There have been so many others. I can't put them all in here, or we'd be here for days, but they are living proof that this works. One book opens many doors. This is how you reach the masses. So that's the power of a book. It's your engine for undeniable authority, your automated client attraction machine, and your career-changing multiplier effect. It's not just a book, it's a strategic asset that keeps working for you long after the writing is done. And if you're ready to stop being just another expert in the crowd and start building a business that attracts clients for you, I want to help you take that next step. So click the link in the description to book a call with my team, and we'll work with you to map out how a book can become the single most powerful growth tool you've ever had. I'm Dr. Shantae Haynes. I'm your destiny designer. I'm helping faith-based coaches, authors, speakers to 5x their income and their impact, and I do it with systems, strategies, and spirit, and that's capital S, Holy Spirit, and I look forward to assisting you to unstoppable success. God bless.